Hi there! Today I want to show you kind of like a strategic placement of face products that's going to allow you to use less product. The skin is going to look more natural, you're going to save a product, and everyone is going to be happy. So let's get into it. Let's start off with primer. I do have here the Beauty Blender Leveler Primer. This is a pore filling primer. I've seen people applying like the professional or like pore filling primers in general all over their face, and I don't really get it, because if it's a pore filling smoothing primer, you can apply them just in the area where you have open pores, or I don't know, texture in general. Maybe you want to cover like some fine lines, that is okay too. But for example, you don't need a primer here on the sides of the cheeks. Not a lot of people have texture in this particular area, or like the sides of the forehead as well. For me, I just use primers like this in the pores area to fill in the pores. I'm just going to use about that much. I'm going to apply it right here where I have open pores, and I'm going to push it into my skin with my fingers. I'm going to extend the leftover product here in my smile lines, again for that smoothing property that it has. So we can concentrate it here and then just blend whatever is left kind of in the T-zone. Moving on to foundation. I'm talking about the majority of people here. I know there are some people that have acne kind of on this side of the face, so you kind of need to apply foundation there. But for majority of the people, what you want to cover with the foundation is the center of the face, the redness here on the nose, kind of here as well. So that's where I suggest you concentrate the foundation. I'm gonna use the Fenty Hydrating Longwear foundation. I'm gonna use a pump, and let's see if I can manage to cover my entire face with it. So I'm going to use half a pump of the 150 shade and half a pump of the 180 shade. So kind of this much. I'm going to mix them on my hand first. You gotta make sure that the shade is really close to your skin tone, otherwise this won't really work. You will have to cover your entire face as well as bring it down the neck. So I'm just going to cover here, kind of the center. And I'm gonna use my Eco 2 sponge. I still have a little bit of product on my hand, so I did not use all of it. We're just going to see if I need anything more. Do not apply the foundation on your under eyes. We're going to apply concealer there. You don't want to load that area with a lot of product. So concentrate it here, and then you can take whatever is left on the sponge and just blend it basically everywhere. And with this shade match, I won't need to apply the product on my neck. I will just do this kind of a thing to use the leftover product on my sponge. Since I have it here, I will also take this kind of a leftover product, and I will cover up these little veins here that I have on my temples, and kind of clean up the eyeshadow as well. And if you have some spots on your face that you want to cover, I feel like that's the concealer's job, rather than trying to apply a lot of foundation and caking it up, you know. I still have a little bit of leftover product, but I'm happy with the coverage. I don't think I need any more than this. Next up is concealer. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me. You can use this on your spots if you have any, and your under eyes, and I'm going to use it just on my under eyes because my skin is clear at the moment. And on your under eyes, again, some people do have really pigmented dark circles, but for the majority of people, me as well, the discoloration is placed right here, right in the inner portion of the eye, and that's where I'm going to conceal. So I'm just going to place the product right here, and that's everything that I need to cancel out the darkness on my under eyes. And also that placement is going to ensure that you won't get eye creases, because basically there's no creases in this area. That's basically it. And I also like to conceal a little bit here, kind of highlight this smile line and cancel the darkness around it, if that makes any sense. And now what I like to do is let it dry for a little bit, because it's going to provide a little bit more coverage if it's a little bit dried, especially with this Fit Me formula. Okay, I scrolled on my phone for I think 5 minutes. I can now blend this out. I'm going to use the same sponge and keep the product concentrated in the area where I placed it. So I'm not going to move it around too much. I'm just going to do little taps with the sponge so it blends into my skin. And here on my under eyes, again I can take the excess product all over my under eyes, but this placement really brightens up and covers exactly where I need coverage. And with that kind of a placement, you can get away without even using powder, because like I said, you're not applying product on the actual eye creases, so you won't really have troubles with the concealer creasing. But I will apply powder anyways, because I want to show you again that you don't need powder on your entire face. So I'm going to use a very light amount of powder. Don't judge me, I know I usually bake my under eyes. It's just because I like the brightening and smoothing effect that it does. But today we're just going to use minimal product. If there's any creasing going on, make sure to blend it out before setting. What I did is basically swirl my brush around the powder, tap off the excess because I don't want a lot of it. This is a Real Techniques setter brush, very nice shape for setting the under eyes. And I'm just going to press it like that on my under eyes. And then I'm just going to set my pores area, a little bit on my nose. I don't want a lot of powder. And a little bit on the center of my forehead, basically setting my T-zone. And again, that is enough for most people, unless you're like very oily, very sweaty. But for most people, you don't really produce oils in the sides of the face, so like there's no point in applying powder there unless you like a very matte finish of the skin, then it's fine. But this amount of powder is actually enough for your makeup to last. For bronzer, blush and highlighter, I don't really have a technique. You can apply them however you want. I'm just going to speed it up just in case you want to see how I do it. It's just that I like a little bit of a lifted place when I place the blush and bronzer, kind of like on this area here. So yeah, that's it. I'm also going to quickly show you. I finished up my makeup. This is the finished look. If you want to see the eye look, by the way, make sure you stay subscribed because I'm going to upload it in a few days, if not tomorrow. I'm not sure how I'm going to schedule these videos, but it's going to be up soon. So make sure that you are subscribed, and that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope you found it useful. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in my next one. Bye!